Hello, this is the Gift of the Gab podcast. I'm your host, Precious, and I am with Ivan today, our special guest. So, on today's podcast, I'm going to be talking about no charges on the tube. But before I get into that, Ivan, how was your journey coming to this place?
Well, it was relatively uneventful. So I live just down in Notting Hill, so it's about sort of 25 minutes or so. Straight road, so no issues. But you mentioned something that you had a bit of a public transport.
Ivan, okay, so there's been strikes recently,
but
I didn't know that the strikes continued into the new year. I thought it would be like done and dusted.
Oh, you're living in an innocent world, Precious.
Literally. So I was like, me and my friend were both using the podcast today. So we were like walking to our local train station and we saw that it was basically empty. We were like, what's going on? And the woman was like, the drivers are now on strike. So it's usually trains and stuff. And I was like, wait, what? So we had to get an Uber in, like Uber to the next train station, and then from there, a train and tube. So it's just been a whole nightmare, Ivan. Like it's just been...
I'm sorry.
It's been a nightmare just to get here. So I'm really glad I'm here now. So Ivan, like what do you do outside of...
So outside of organising the Stiff Upper Lip Society, I have a rather strange background. So I'm in IT, so I have an IT consultancy, but I'm involved with cake making, so I do a lot of cake decorating.
Oh wow! Okay, Evan.
Yeah, and I make lighting sculptures as well, but these days, mostly my spare time, I do a lot of cake decorating. So I was actually on television about a month and a bit ago on a cake competition there. So. Oh
my gosh! What, like British Bake Off?
No. I looked into that. A friend of mine has been involved with that, and it's really vicious the amount of work that you require to do before you even get on the Bake Off. So I believe you need to provide most of your recipes of your planned ideas for the full schedule for the full 10 weeks. So that's before you even get accepted. So let's say you spend 2 or 3 weeks planning all your recipes, planning all your designs, and you don't get accepted. How frustrating would that be? You've basically wasted 2 weeks of your life. Yes, and I think that's completely unfair. I know why they do it, because they don't want you to be turning up and go, well, I don't know what I'm doing. But still, you should be accepted. They should maybe accept 12 people, knowing they need 10. And then if a couple of people don't turn up with suitable recipe, but I just go, that's a lot of work to do.
Especially if it's your passion and it's not.
My heart would never be in it because you'd be going in the back of your mind going, because there's a lot of people applying.
And people might be telling you how to do it or look this way, look that way, and it's like, I'm just trying to make a cake. I just want to whip it in the kitchen so I can understand.
But so it was Kirsty's Handmade Christmas, so Kirsty Allsops from the
yes.
They had a very different concept, which I really liked. It was much more relaxed, so it was 6 hours, and they didn't cut your hands off when the time hit 6 hours.
That's nice.
As opposed to Bake Off. But the thing with Bake Off is you don't win any money, but
you get a lot of recognition though.
But the actual incidental funds that you receive from promotion, and so effectively it's a huge prize. And therefore there are very strict requirements by the government on any institution that runs any kind of competition where there is a reward. So it's got to be very fair. So the competition I took part in, there was no money, there was like a trophy, but it was an arbitrary trophy. It wasn't sort of valuable.
Did you win?
No, I didn't. And I was never going to win because my cake was super technical and super complex. I make complicated cakes. The other participants went with more simplistic cakes, but sculpted and beautiful looking cakes. And they were.
Yes.
2 of the cakes were very, very nice and beautiful, and the girl who won deserved to win. But she basically walked in on the day and she knew what she was going to do, and she basically winged it, and the other girl sort of did the same. My cake took me 3 weeks to prepare. 3 weeks to prepare.
Ivan!
3 weeks, it was incredibly complicated, very technically structured. I made a box of crackers.
Is it like that show on Netflix? Is it like, was your cake like that?
No, so I'll show you later, but it was meant to look like a box of crackers, and the box looked like a box, and there was edible. So basically, obviously, if you get a box of crackers,
Yeah.
there's a window in the middle, which is cellophane. I had edible cellophane, and it looked exactly like cellophane. Exactly like cellophane.
The fact that you can get edible cellophane is like...
And that took 2 days just to make the edible cellophane. And again, all of that was glossed over. But, but that's frustrating because, I mean, I don't expect them to give a lesson in how to create these things. But I would think that most people would go, oh, that's edible cellophane, how did you do that? And then you can just say, oh, it's gelatin, water, and so I forgot something else I used, and you dry it for 2 days. That's a 10-second explanation. People can then look it up. But no, sort of, so
I'm going to look it up. I'm going to look it up, Ivan. Don't worry.
You don't want to even waste it. It's really a pain in the bum to make. It's real. I had to make 4 sheets, and it was very lucky.
And you didn't win?
No.
Let's go to Katie also right now.
Because it was super technical.
Yeah.
It's basically a box of crackers. If you look at it, you go, oh, that's nice. It's a box of crackers. The girl who won and it was beautiful. A beautiful Father Christmas.
Oh, and
it was very pretty.
Yeah.
And she did a great job. Visually, hers is more stunning.
Yeah.
If you want technical, mine is much more skillful, requires a lot of preparation, 3D printing, silicone molds, edible material as well as edible plastic. So the edible material was really cool. I mean, so much work.
You really put your heart and soul into the cake.
Yeah, but see, and anyway, it was very frustrating.
Yeah.
But anyway, I didn't win.
Okay, Ivan. Okay, so from that, Ivan, I'm booking you. If I ever need a cake made, I know.
And I don't charge. I don't really charge.
So it's like a hobby?
Yeah. A lot of my cakes go to the hospital, so I donate them to hospitals.
Lovely. Was this over like lockdown you decided to learn this?
No, so I'd been baking for about 2 years before lockdown.
Yes.
And then when lockdown kicked in, I gave up work for 4 months to bake for the hospitals.
That is
so they've got a lot of cakes from. So I'm very well known in hospitals. It's a lot. It's so cool. When
you won't make me cry, Ivan.
I have to say, I mean, I get quite emotional sometimes when I turn up. So I still do it now.
Yeah.
So I was there on Christmas Day. I delivered 3 cakes on Christmas Day, and I did 2 on New Year's. At midnight, I was actually just going into one of my hospitals to deliver them a cake. And I get quite emotional there because you know they deal with people dying. And so I think it was during lockdown, the first lockdown, and it was the Christmas. And I went to see them at my 3 hospitals at Christmas, and they were sort of okay in terms of numbers, and they were okay. And I was okay, because I was always checking in with them how things, because at that time, you know, information on what was going on was hard to get hold of. And also, if you can get it directly from the head of ICU, then you can know, oh, are we crazy busy? What are people like? What are the death rates like? How
not just going off the media.
Exactly. So they were sort of okay. And then I came back on New Year's Day, and I never forget this till the day I die. I was standing outside Charing Cross Hospital, and the girls come out to meet me. Now I can go in, but back then also they came out to meet me in the car park, which is quite funny. So they came out to the car park, and the 2 girls were there, and one of them knew me, and one of them had my cakes but never met me. And so she was like, oh, and they were really excited about the cake, and I spent a lot of time on that cake, and they were really sweet. And they were so lovely, and it was ebullient and energetic. Oh, it was great. So I said, oh, okay, so how are things in the ward today? And their faces completely changed.
Oh my gosh.
And they said, it's horrific. It's horrific in there.
Oh my gosh.
And you just sit there and they explained what it was like, and you went, so for that moment, they were just normal and wonderfully reacting to a fun cake. Yeah. But then in a few minutes they'd be going back into a war zone.
Even respond to that, like when they say it's horrific, like you just got to be like,
you're just
going back home and they're going back.
You talk to them and you just say, you know, you can't hug them, which you want to do. You just say, you know, my thoughts are with you and I'll see you in that case.
But do you even say, oh, it's going to get better? When you don't know. You don't even know if it's going to get better.
You just say thank you so much, and it's so funny because they go, oh, thank you so much, you're great, and you're going, and literally I go, it makes you feel really bad, because you're going, you're saving lives. I'm basically faffing around with some sugar and some butter, and yes, it's my time, but it's and Yeah, so I'll see them again on February the 14th.
Yeah.
So I pick key dates of Easter, February the 14th, and Mother's Day. I think I do Mother's Day.
That is really lovely, Ivan.
It's nice. They deserve it. God, they deserve it. And you know what?
Do.
I'm not accident prone, but stuff happens.
Yeah.
And so I did a ladder underneath me collapsed a couple of months ago.
Oh my
and I
God.
was very lucky not to die. Very, very
literally, Ivan, you are really, to see you here today.
It was 4 meters in the air and I was on my own at midnight.
Was you walking home?
No, I was on my own at midnight.
Yeah.
I was helped because I build things. So I was building up, doing electrical work for a friend's hair studio. And it was 11 o'clock, so completely on my own, no one around, no one to shout for help. So at the top of the ladder, fixing some lights, and the ladder collapsed underneath me, and I came straight down, and my head just missed. Because you know they have those wash basins. My head just missed that, and I hit it on the ground. I was sort of okay. It was bleeding a bit, but nothing. Yeah, if I hit that basin,
it would just be like.
And again, no one. My phone wasn't in my pocket because if you work, you put your phone on the side. That's your podcast. So if I'd been paralysed, I wouldn't have been able to get to my phone, and they would have found me the next day. And so I just turned up to. I called up one of my hospitals and I said, "Hey, can I come by? Can you just literally check me over?
Yeah.
I don't want to wait for 4 hours." So they just quickly looked at me and said, "You're." And I thought I was fine.
But it's always good to get that confirmation.
I didn't know whether I needed stitches or not, but I was fine. And they gave me a few things.
Bloody hell, Ivan, can you take it easy?
I cut this finger into 5 pieces.
Ivan, you got to stop.
Well, that was a while back, because I made lighting sculptures, so I got caught in a machine, and I was lucky not to lose that finger. Yeah, you're
lucky to not lose your life, Ivan, not just a finger. Okay, then moving on to a more fun, light-hearted topic of Ivan not losing his life. So you're part of the No Trousers on the Tube, you do that, you're in the event.
So basically we have an organisation called the Stiff Upper Lip Society.
Yeah.
So they called it No Pants on the Subway, which is obviously American.
Yeah, because I know it started in
the US, New York. About, I think, 18 years ago.
2002,
I think it was.
Yeah.
Maybe, sorry, it's about 20 years ago. And the idea was just to create a stir. It's the first type of event that this company called Improv Everywhere ever did. And it was, they were not, stir. They're not looking to raise money or create awareness. And they've now moved on and they very cleverly turned it into a business. So companies like, there's an American Target, so an equivalent would be like Tesco's or exactly.
Yeah.
Something like Tesco's. Or B&M or something like that, they would sponsor them, and they would then, for example, build a huge beatbox, a boombox, huge boombox. I mean, we're talking huge, as in like 3 times the size of this room, and have a huge plug. Wow. And they just have a big arrow saying, plug me in. Yeah. And they leave it like that in the middle of, obviously they've got film cameras, but they're all hidden. So people will obviously at some point come up, pick this big plug up, and they push it in, and the minute it drops in, obviously it lights up, and dancers come running out and music starts playing. So basically it's not a flash mob, but it's that kind of fun thing. Yeah. But in that case they would be sponsored by an organisation. So they do something that's slightly connected to the organisation. So that's what they do now. But back then they started with no pants on the subway, no trousers on the tube.
That's quite catchy. No pants on the subway.
Except not in the UK. So that's one thing I'm really strict about, even though it's nothing. People know here, the American version. I don't want people even using that word in an offhand way, because people are remarkably dumb and people comment on our post all the time and they take it the wrong way and they go, oh no, that's offensive, and you go, we don't allow budgie smugglers, we don't allow thongs. And everyone's wearing like full coverage pants or boxer shorts or trunks. Because
I was going to say, has anyone taken it to the extreme when they've come commando? Like they've just come...
No. Well, that's illegal. That would be illegal. So...
thank God for that.
Yeah.
So you start at Chinatown, where does it end?
Chinatown, basically Leicester Square.
Oh, so you're going...
after party there.
Oh, okay. So what's these after parties like? Where did you guys go?
So just
O'Neill's. Are you still trousers?
Absolutely, yes. O'Neill's in Soho.
Okay.
And yeah, I don't stay for very long. My voice is normally gone. I'm normally exhausted by that time. But I see photographs of what happens afterwards, and people just it's lovely. They just have a lovely time. They just stay. Sometimes they're 1 o'clock in the morning, which is insane.
That
because they're there at like 6 o'clock.
Literally.
Yeah, the whole evening they sit, and that's fine. You know, people having a great time. That's just fine.
I love that. So from doing these events, have people found love? Like, have people formed relationships from these events?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know really. I mean, we only see people sort of really once a year. So
you guys should do like a reunion of like, if you can try to find everyone that's participated.
Well,
just do it like a little, not like just a reunion. Be like, so guys, like, where has this taken you? Where have you gone? Have you found love? Has this opened you up to more?
The problem is that we use Facebook for this as how people contact. And if you've not had to use Facebook groups, they're really restrictive in how you can communicate with
definitely.
people. And it's very frustrating because you would imagine I join a group, I should be able to say, this is important. Here's a message that drops in your inbox. No, I can't do that. And if I go actually send messages to individual people, I can probably get 4 or 5 of them sent.
Yeah.
And then it will block me saying it wants you to pay for advertising.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So I do that. Out of my own pocket, I do that every year. I pay for a bit of advertising. But this year, as I said, it's probably going to be our last one.
Yeah. Well, why is that?
So they stopped it in the US.
Oh, okay. So your partner.
They've stopped it in the US. Basically, just said, COVID. We didn't do it for 3 years or 2 years.
Yeah.
The third year. We did it for 2 years. COVID is still a thing in the US. It's still a thing everywhere.
Yeah.
The US, Americans are taking it a bit more seriously than us. Too seriously. I think you have to resign yourself to the fact that it's going to be like flu.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like flu, people die.
Yeah.
Be sensible. Don't go to work if you've got a cough. Wear a mask if you've got a cough, or just don't go out. But and I thought about it, and I thought, you know what, we should at least run it this year and just say goodbye. The problem is as well, we're seeing numbers this year are okay, but normally this year I'd be seeing maybe somewhere in the region of 300-400 people signed up to say going.
That is a lot of people.
And then 800-900 people saying interested. No, you don't get through. So ideally, you want to see probably about 400-500 people signed up to saying going, and you get 200 turn up.
Oh, okay.
So we're not into triple figures at the moment.
Do you know roughly how many people are going to be?
I would guess.
Just
I'm
going
hoping
off
we'll get 50, which is really not great.
It's not a lot.
Great. No, it's not
compared to last year.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's the whole. I mean, we lost all of that. So if every year people do, there's that certain, there's a year gap. There's a certain amount of momentum that you have. Yeah. So we've lost that. So, and the other thing is, it's we have been running for like obviously we lost 2 years, but 13 years, 13,
That's
14
a
years.
lot. Yeah.
So it's a long time. It's a lot of, in order to do it justice, to do it properly. It takes a lot of time. So again, I've got friends of mine, Blaze I think contacted you, you've got to contact all the papers, you've got to answer all the messages, you've got to respond. I'm quite strict about how I treat people's responses, so people are very silly and not the members of the public will go, this is disgusting. Yeah. So I always just say, I have to respond to that. And you just go, no, it's just people are naked, people are wearing their pants, and it's all normal, it's not disgusting, it's unhygienic.
I mean, there's new beaches.
Oh yeah.
So this is literally not even icing on the cake.
Yeah. So it is important, it's a silly thing, but it's a principle. It's important that people understand that we're not sticking our crutches in people's faces. Yeah. We're being very respectful. Even if people just make offhand comments, these things can snowball, so I always want to create a positive atmosphere around the event, and that's important.
Well, I'm really happy that at least this is the last year that you guys can do it, and if you're going to do it with a bang.
Yeah,
hopefully.
Hopefully, but it would be nice. But again, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of hassle. It's a lot of faffing around. And again, you can put in so much effort, and you could maybe get, for example, 800 people saying they're going. And if the weather is terrible, then literally people are stupid. They don't go, I'll take an umbrella to the meet, because you're only outside for a short period of time.
You're under the tree for most of the day.
Yeah, and it's obviously completely dry. Now people are silly ones go, I don't go. So then you've done all this work, you've got all this effort, and then 40 people or 30 people turn up.
And it's not the same as like 200
it's not the same,
people
no.
coming.
But yeah, I mean, if we get, I think we'll easily get this year, I think we'll get 40 or 50 or so.
I'm hoping, because I really want to see, like, I would love to come myself, but like, I don't have the confidence. Like, I feel like to do this type of event, you need to be a confident person.
No, you should absolutely come. You should come with my group, Precious. See, the thing is, the way you do it, I'm quite body conscious. I'm very confident about my body, and as a lot of people are. And so the first time I did it, I remember it was just really difficult. And I will be nervous on Sunday. I can 100%
But after, you've done this for so long, you're still...
100%, because it's not something you only do every year.
Yeah.
So, and also again, I'm not that type of person, so, and some people aren't. Some people literally just woof like this because they've got great bodies, or they're very relaxed about, they're comfortable about their bodies. So what you find is, and I think this is true of most people, to be honest with you, not just myself, is you take your trousers, take the skirt off, you put it in your bag because you wear a backpack.
Yeah.
The minute your trousers are off and you turn around and you see everyone else has got their trousers off, you literally, it changes. You just go, oh, because you're with everyone else that's doing the same, you're not on your own. If you're on your own,
it's different.
Because, and even if you're really nervous, you just then make sure you stand next to 3 other people.
Yeah, and you blend in.
And then after like 3 minutes, you just go, once, especially as a girl.
Yeah.
You're used to wearing maybe short skirts or shorter skirts. It feels no different. For a guy, we're less. But still, you just go, oh, it's nothing. And you just go,
so do you think that's just because of like society putting like the pressure on, like, oh, you need to look like this, you need to look like that, and if you don't fit the mold, then essentially that's where these feelings arrive of like, oh, I'm not like this guy, or I don't look like this person in the newspaper, and then that's why maybe you don't feel as confident to show that part of yourself. Do you feel like society has attributed to that, and maybe why some people are?
I don't know. I think, most of us are British.
Yeah.
Which I think you notice non-British people a lot more, to be honest with you, a lot more relaxed about.
Because when you go to Spain, they don't give a heck.
Yeah, they're out. Which is a bit of an issue, but I mean, there are some British people that take part that absolutely, they do say to them, do you want to take your trousers off? And you'll be wearing trousers and your trousers down. And that's great, and great for them, and I admire them for that level of confidence. But I don't think it's a bad thing as well to be, because also, you get people, there are people like that, again, there can be a bit too much in other people's faces because they're not cognizant of the fact that how they're behaving or what they're wearing might offend is the wrong people, but people might not take too kindly to. And
I personally feel like the only reason why someone else might think, oh my gosh, why are you doing that? Put your trousers on. I just feel like, first of all, it might be just a generation thing, but I also feel like British people as a whole are very conservative.
Oh yeah.
So I feel like all like other countries are just like free, happy-go-lucky, and everyone of us is just like, if we don't even riot. Like, we don't even take a stand for things.
We do, right? You must not have been in London when, was it?
No, we did riot.
Yeah,
we do riot here and there, but like, it's very rare. But like France, they will revolute. Like, they will take things. I feel like that's probably why a lot of people, like, you get different types of opinions about it. But I feel like if you just see it as a fun day, why do you take offense? You're gonna get off at the next station, so why do you care if this person's come on with no trousers? Like, you're not even staying on for that long.
I think especially if you see that there are multiple people, and it's not, and that's the big thing. If it was one person on their own, then I potentially would feel uncomfortable myself because you go, is this what's going on with this individual? But the minute you see other people, you go, oh, it's like a flash mobby thing, or it's an event, or so at that point, if you've got half a brain, you realise it's a special event, and you realise it's not going to go any further than that.
Literally.
But if you've got someone that's got no trousers on and they want you to go, I would sit there and go, is this the beginning of
no,
I don't want to, I'm sorry, I don't want to be on a tin can enclosed with a guy who potentially is going to get his willy out and go dancing around. I'm sorry. don't particularly want to see.
That is hilarious. If that did happen, I feel like I'd just faint and like cry of laughter. 'Cause, like, what can I do? Like, it's not like I can
get off the.
I can get off the tube, but like I can't stop it. He's already done it. So I was gonna ask, what was your favorite? Like your out doing it for like 13 years. What are some favorite moments that you've had that you would like after? Like this is the last one. So like, what would be your takeaway from this? Like, has it given you the confidence to do anything or?
Well, no. I mean, the thing is that it's difficult really because, as I said to you, the main thing that we try and instill in people is to be normal, and that's the problem. It's fun to do, but once you take your trousers off, we tell people you've got to literally. So I'm just sitting there listening to a podcast like I would do normally. Now my job. I obviously do something different than that. So I would do patrol. So I go up and down, talking to people, saying hello, asking people to move down so people don't clump.
Yeah.
Because you can easily go. There's a whole carriage that's full of people with no
do
trousers.
that?
And I go, okay, yeah, I mean, I never want people to be on their own. And that's the other thing, I'll send people down, especially if I see two girls on their own. I'll either move them up or send a couple of people down to join them.
I really appreciate that, man.
Oh, no, I feel so, I have a sister and I've had partners who've had unpleasant relationships, not in interactions with men that have been very inappropriate. We've not had any problems, but I think the way to stop that is to make sure that everyone realises that the women on this ride need to be treated with respect. And so not so much from our group, but if you see two women or a woman on their own that's part of the group, I'll bring them in, talk to them, because you can, because sometimes if we have to change tubes, some people get left alone.
Oh yeah, that is very
So I'm very careful. I'm very careful that when we get off the tube, we don't move off the station.
What happens if someone was to just like the tube just goes and they didn't realise the group had left?
It doesn't happen with me because I'm really, really specific about not moving off the tube platform until everyone. But that's my group, and I'm so strict on that, and I do try and instill that into everyone else. But again,
you can't help. You can't control everything.
People, I hope that people, if obviously they put their trousers back on if they don't feel comfortable. Which is why we, obviously being a backpack, you put your trousers in your backpack.
That's quite a good way then, I guess, because like, let's say I did get left on the tube, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm by myself, and subconsciously you do realise, okay, I'm actually by myself and I'm on the tube. You just can put on your trousers and be like, well, you know what, I've had fun, now I'm like blending in with society again, so I feel like that's quite nice. It's like, you as the person have authority when you've had enough.
Exactly.
And you can just be like, right, I just want to be regular schmegular Mel or Stacey again. Like I don't want to be Stacey with no trousers. I want to be Stacey with trousers. Like it's really nice that you have autonomy over that. No one's forcing you. It's not you must be trouserless from 8 a.m. to. It's like you could be from 8 to 9 and quit a day.
Exactly.
It's really nice.
It's very important, and I mean. What I've worked out now is the lines I enjoy running a circle and district because what I call a
really? I feel like circle and district's always got issues.
No, it's not for that reason.
Oh, okay.
It's because I call it. I'm sure there's a technical term, but I have to use it. I call it a snake train. So although a train by definition is a sort of snaky thing, but I call it a snake train because it has no partitions. The actual carriages are not separated. You can walk the length of the train, which is really important because then I can patrol the train without exiting carriage. Also, then we can move people around. The problem is, which we've had before, if I've got groups of people in different carriages and we need to get off, how do I do that without getting off, going to telling everyone? It's a recipe for disaster, and if I get stuck on the platform and it goes on, then people are so. And also we're doing, of course, the Elizabeth line this year. I
got on that for the first time today.
Yeah, it's great.
Beautiful.
No, because we'll be all over it on Sunday.
It is so beautiful, like the architecture. I love it. Like it felt like I was on a bullet train. It was
great,
seamless.
Fantastic.
Honestly, great architecture
and
there.
We'll be all over it on Sunday. So that's the line you guys are all gonna take. No, we're probably, so we've got to get there. So we'll probably I need to sit, and I'll do it probably tomorrow. I need to think about the lines we're going to take. So we like to go to a mainline station, and then from the mainline station we'll go back in. So the reason we go to mainline station is photographs. Because I allow people. It sounds very dictatorial, but I say to people, if you want to go loopy with photographs, you can do it at the mainline station. You can pose and all this kind of thing. But yeah, so we'll probably. I need to think about it. We'll probably take the District Circle line to Paddington.
Are you going to get press as well? Like, I know I've seen that Bible have done.
We always get lots of press.
Can you say who's going to be, or do you know the press that's going to be?
Oh yeah, so I mean, so what happens is these days, and it's the nature of the beast. Is we occasionally get maybe one or two photographers maximum from the main papers.
That's the Sun, the Mail.
Yeah, but what we do get is you get pool photographers, and most papers don't have their own photographers these days. So I have one or two, so that's why it's rare. But you have photographers that work with the main papers, and their job then is they take photographs. So we are always in the main paper. So we're in the Independent, we're in the Metro, we're in the Standard, we're in the Mail, the Sun, we're in the Mirror on Monday, the Guardian oftentimes. Yeah.
So are they also going to like interview you as well?
No, they don't. They just.
Why haven't they? Because this is something that should be on like Good Morning, like with Philip Schofield and Holly. Like, why haven't they?
Yeah, well, we try. I mean, we've been. We do London Live, and we've done bits and bobs over the years. But it's not a huge event. I think if it was bigger.
You're telling me No Child on the Tube is not big?
Well, I think if we had like 2,000 or 3,000 people.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But we wouldn't be able to manage.
That would be a lot.
It's hard to manage if you have 200, to be honest.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Because splitting groups is really hard, because what can happen is when you send the groups off is people just will follow, and so suddenly that group of 40 or 30 could be 60. And then the problem then is getting those people through the turnstiles. You can't just go through the turnstiles and go on the escalator.
Yeah, you have to.
Because what happens is all you need is 2 or 3 people, and it happens, 2 or 3 people, their phone doesn't work to tap in.
Yeah.
And then then you get half the group goes down to the bottom, and then 20 or 15 people are stuck at the top getting sorted out, and then they get panicky.
Yeah.
And you don't want people running.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Because again, people get knocked over.
Yeah.
People fall down.
We do not need people going to the ambulance.
No,
tell you that.
No. And you know, so is that, and if you've got 60 people, you can't. I've tried it before. They won't allow you sensibly to stage at the top, so you then have to go down to the bottom. You can stage at the bottom, because if you stage at the top, then your group of people does start backing up towards the gates.
Yeah.
And and justifiably they go, no, it's not safe.
Yeah, of course. Do you ever get people that just tag along? Like they just.
No, I mean people.
Because I don't know. I would just see it and be like, oh, it's good. Like, you know, you get lads, right? And the lads might be like out, and they might see this and be like, well, what the hell is this? And then they might just be like, well, if they're doing it, I'm gonna do it. So have you ever just had people like that?
Well, not. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean certainly not lads. They're all mouth and no. Excuse me, they're all mouth and no trousers. Ironically, but yeah. So I mean, you know as well as I do, is that often the best way if you've got guts is if, as a woman. If a guy is saying make shouting comments, and often waiting there is okay then. You know, you address them back. Okay, you want to go back to my place, or you want? And the guys will go.
Yeah, of course.
You know, they often not know how to deal with that. But we have had a situation which was lovely, where I think they were Turkish or maybe Iranian. Anyway, they were sitting opposite us and they were asking us about what's going on. Yeah. And they were like in the 60s or something. And then one of the guys just looked at and he took his trousers down. He just sat there like this, and it was hysterical. It was all lovely and innocent. It was really nice, and it was lovely. Yeah. It was really nice.
That is so heartwarming.
What are you doing?
That is really heartwarming. Yeah. If you could do this event again, let's say from like 13, 20 years ago, what would you possibly change, or what would you do better about the event?
I think just sometimes again it's all about, do we get the right guides? Do we get it's So
how do you find the right guys? Like,
just
do you
people
have to
that
do
do
an
it every
interview?
year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And the thing is that I've been doing I do volunteer events.
Yeah.
I've been doing volunteer events since I was like, I don't know, 20 or so, 21. You can tell people till you're blue in the face. This is how it should run. This is what you must do. You have to make sure that girls don't get left on their own. You have to make sure that if there's any issues, you have to deal with it.
Yeah, definitely.
End the ride if it's not safe. All of this kind of don't allow. Don't get separated. People just get carried away.
Yeah.
They do their own thing.
Of course.
And so I've had to fight that over the years, and it can get very frustrating and very annoying.
I can really imagine that, like, because it seems like you're the main person that basically like runs the show, except for like the people that have made it into a business. So I can feel like for you taking it all on, how do you like make sure your mental is still you're still sane at the end of the whole, because you're planning it as well. It's not just like on Sunday everyone turns up, it's like you got a pre-plan. So you're probably doing that from like last year.
Oh no, it's not that. No, it's not that. It's not. Luckily, it's not that bad. But I mean, we did an event. So the Stiff Upper Lip Society was founded really to mirror improv everywhere. And initially, the idea was we would do similar events to them, lots of events, and do different events, not just about no trans. And we did. We did lots of different events, and some of them were more successful than others. We did freezes. So we had the freeze. They're all on our Facebook page. The Waterloo freeze was really good. I think we had almost over 200 people turned up to that. That was fantastic because it's such a good video. If you see the video, you know there's just people milling around, and there's a hubbub. But there's like the general hubbub, and it's at like, let's say level 6, where like 10 would be a riot, and like 6 is like normal train station noise. And then at 3 o'clock, I start the freeze, so I freeze, and also people know at 3 o'clock, and they're all keeping an eye on me as well. And also there's a clock right above, which is why, you do it, if you're sensible, you do it, so there's a clock, big clock above, or there's a big display clock. And it's brilliant because it's this domino effect, and it just goes from 6 to 5 to 4 to 3 to 2 to 1, and there's that 1, so there's 1. And so what you have is, number 1, you've got 200 people who are no longer talking, that's us. So that drops the noise, and then you've got everyone else who's walking around. They stop talking because they go, what's going on? Yeah. And then noise goes back to 2, but it doesn't go back up to 6 because again, people go, it's the video.
Is that happening?
So cool.
Is that event happening?
We did that. That was years ago. Yeah, the Waterloo Station freeze. We've done a couple of freezes, and that was easily the most successful.
What would you say was the most non-successful?
Non-successful. Oh, God. No, dear me.
You don't have to go into too much detail. We don't want to put too much
successful. We did a Valentine's Day event, which if we'd had lots of numbers wouldn't have worked. But we had, I don't know, maybe 12, 14 people taking part, and you sent 4 people into a cafe. So we sent 4 or 5 people into a cafe, and I went in with a girl. We sat in a cafe, we bought a coffee, bought a dessert, or a bun. We were just sitting there, so you've got to blend in. And it was a great cafe, it was busy in Soho. And after 20 minutes, this took guts. After 20 minutes, I got the spoon, and I tapped my glass, really like you would do. And this is it's a nice Italian, so like sit down cafe, get up, go. But it's not like a restaurant, it's like a busy cafe.
Oh, okay.
And it's full, so this is like a good 40, 50 people in there. I tap really loudly, like you would do, at a wedding, to say this is, who's doing a speech, and people start being quiet.
Yeah, of course.
And I turned to my friend, not my girlfriend, I turned to her and I said, I bet you wondered why I went, I told you I went on holiday last week, but I wasn't on holiday, I went to the US to meet your father, and then I go on one knee and I go, my love, I've always missed you, but all this kind of thing. And then people are going, what? And then I basically proposed to her, and everyone goes, yeah. And people are going, oh, congratulations, all like this. Right, so that's the good bit. So then you wait like 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. And the other couple, part of our group, behind us, he taps on his glass, and he goes through the proposal process as well. Now, the beautiful thing is, if anyone was there for the first one, their reaction to the second one's even stronger. Because you would just sit there and you go, oh my god, what, there's two, you know, do you see what I mean? So
where am I? No, really and truly, Ivan, you do these events, and I'm like, where am I? Because now I'm just picturing like a domino of people basically proposing, and I'm like, where am I?
It was beautiful. That one was really good because again, we did the whole thing where, and again, it was even quieter. People were even quieter. Because obviously February the 14th, that was why. So then, of course, when they finish the fake proposal, we go over to them. We go, oh, congratulations, and we like sit with them like you would do. You would do. Both couples would go, oh, you know, and we bullshit for a bit. You know, we just talk rubbish for a bit, and then we just okay, see you go, and we leave. And the other couple 2 minutes in, we then both couples then go to another cafe. And the two couples that were at the other cafe come to our cafe an hour later. So again, and they do a process. I think what they did is, I think they did like a rejection. I think they did one of them did a rejection.
I always wanted to know like if you was to get rejected at a proposal, what do you do? How do you react?
I think if you got half a sense of decency, and you as a obviously men generally propose to women, but as the other person you propose to, you just say yes. You say yes. And then you walk outside and you go home and you put me in a really awkward situation there. I'm not ready to propose, and then have a conversation about it, but not to say no.
Yeah.
It's not like you're signing an agreement, you're signing a life away.
I've always thought that too. I've always been like, please do not embarrass me in public, okay? If you're going to propose to me, first of all, I need to know. Don't just do it on a whim. Second of all, I need to look good. That's my two requirements. Don't make me look, I don't want to be ugly and you're proposing to me, because I will reject you. So I feel like you do not care about me.
But I mean, I'm not a big one for all of this kind of thing, but there is the most beautiful, and you should find it, it's the most beautiful video, and I say it nearly makes me tear up when I watch it, and again, I'm not a soppy person. There's a girl and they're on the beach. You need to watch it.
Beach is so cliche.
But it's actually not like it's not that busy. It's not busy. I think it's in the sort of the autumn in America.
Yeah.
It is. So it's not busy at all. It's got a bit cool. I forgot the other. Maybe it's sunny enough. So she's got a towel around and this kind of thing, and the boyfriend starts going down on one knee or something, and she obviously realizes what's going on, and she just loses it in the most beautiful. She's literally jumping up and down on this. She's going like this, and it is the most beautiful, pure. It's just like she's literally bouncing up and down, going squealing, waiting for him to utter the word, and she's basically ready. And it is the most just gorgeous, and you go, that girl is just, and you go, I'm sure that you can see the affection that she has. That's lovely because it's beautiful love that she has.
Really love this guy,
It's find it. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
So would you ever? Because I know you said you want like everyone to be normal, but if someone was to propose in a group, would you allow that?
Oh, of course. Well, number one, we're not, unless people are being indecent.
Yeah.
I'm not stopping anyone. People want to do selfies, I will politely go, if you don't want to leave it. And if people really want, then just move to another carriage or something. But, because we're not there to spoil people's fun.
Yeah. But if there were like a YouTuber, would you allow YouTubers on?
We do allow YouTubers, we allow people, so good question. So we have a rule, it's not our rule, it's the rule from the Improv Everywhere, and all of these rules are really sensible. If you're videoing, your trousers are on.
Yeah.
If you're press, taking photographs, your trousers are on. You want to take part, you stop photographing, you stop videoing, you can take your trousers off. So you can do your video, you can take some photographs.
So is that how you combat the legal side of things?
No, it's not that. It's just we don't want, because we don't want to be aware that we have got no trousers on.
Right.
So it is legitimate that people could see us, and it happens. People see us walk by and they take photos.
Yeah.
So you can pretend, even though they're obviously press. But do you see what I mean? And press could, some press photographer could be wandering around, see us, and press photographers all the time wander around London watching out for things happening. So I think it's a really good, you want to take photographs, keep your trousers on, it just retains the purity.
So if I was a YouTuber and I wanted to actually take part but also vlog it, I would have to keep my trousers on. That's.
I think, I mean...
How do you get through those lines, like distinct?
I think we'd ask people, obviously, if you were just using your phone, I think, if you were just doing a bit of a self-thing, hey, talking to that, but then that would sort of be okay because potentially you could be vlogging yourself through London on the Elizabeth line.
Yeah.
But I think you need to keep it to be, if you're just vlogging yourself and you're talking about it and you go, we want to do some interviews and you want to talk to people, absolutely. But then in that case, I would say, have a chat to someone in advance and say, have an arrangement, you tap them on the shoulder and you move to another carriage. So you move down to the end or whatever and you're in your own little space. But you sort of want that anyway. You want to have not a private chat.
Yeah,
you want to have a chat where you're not there's not people all around you.
Yeah, of course. Oh, okay. So that's how you combat people that do social media, basically.
We want promotion. We want people to have a lovely time.
Especially with TikTok growing so fast as it is, I would think that you guys would want that to be on there as well.
But again, if people really want to do that, again, number one, we can't stop them. We're not going to stop them.
Of course.
Number two is you go, right, if you really want to do that, it's fine. Then do it for 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah.
You're not going to want to do it for an hour.
Yeah.
You are going to literally want to do it for 3 or 4 minutes.
Yeah.
And do it for 3 or 4 minutes and then put your phone away and have a chat. If you want to watch videos of each other and video each other, chatting, that's fine. But if you're sort of obviously showing your legs, and if you're just showing your faces and you're like, hey, look, I'm with my friend Damien here, you would do that anyway.
Yeah.
So that's a realistic environment. But it's where people are taking photographs of their legs.
That just gets a bit out of hand.
Again, we want to try and make it as natural as possible.
So now you know that it's coming to a close and this is the end. Guys, by the way, it is the end. It's not coming back next year, so don't bother Ivan on Facebook saying, when's the next one? It's not coming back. It's over.
Well, they're going to have difficulty finding me on Facebook because I don't go by my full name on Facebook.
I
have an alias, which is a Thai name. It's Tanawat Wongyuat.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm Tanawat Wongyuat on Facebook.
Okay, well, if you can spell that, go ahead, guys, because
it's phonetic. Tanawat. It's actually quite easy to spell if you think about it. Wongyuat.
Ivan, you're giving them ideas.
I got an email from a scammer. His name is Tanawat Wongyuat. This was years and years
ago. Can I tell you my scammer story straight after?
Yeah. Okay. I didn't respond, obviously, and I took the name. I thought, this is a great name, and I literally copied and pasted it into a text file, and I thought, I'm going to use that one day. And it took me about 4 or 5 years to realise that I could change my Facebook name. You'd have to change it, I think, 3 times or something.
Yeah.
And I went, I changed it to Tanawat Wongyuat. And it's really cool because obviously my friends know it's me.
Yeah.
Which is bizarre, and some people, obviously they'll call me Tanawat because they don't know I'm Ivan. So they go, hey Tanawat, and some people go, Ivan, why are you doing that? And I'll go, it's the Tanawat way. And it's the Tanawat way, But anyway, tell me about your scam.
Oh my god, so I haven't got, this was last year, and I've been seeing on TikTok a lot of the, hey mum, I've lost my phone, so can you call me, and I was like, and I got the text, and usually you get, people get kind of worried and scared, but my reaction was, I was super happy to get this text, I was like, yes, they found me, thank you, because I was I went around the office telling everyone, guys, if you get this text, do not reply. And then I was also thinking, guys, do I look like a mother? I'm literally only 23 years old. I don't have any kids. So I found this whole thing hilarious. And I was like, how can you I was like, this scam is so dumb because I'm not a mum. So clearly, what kids are you referring to? So it was I was just super happy because I was like, I've seen this scam online and it came to me and I was like, yes, now I can warn other people. So I guess it's a bit weird that you get excited with scams, but it's you can't trick me? You really thought you could trick me?
Yeah, but you're not their demographic.
Yeah, that's also true. That's what I'm feeling how can you as a scammer not be that clever? At least try it's a number.
But they'll send out a million texts.
Yeah.
And it's like with everything in life, it's like with some guys, they believe that, again, going back to talking to people on the tubes with or without the trousers on, if if you go up to 100 girls and you go, hey love, you know, do you want to come back to my place, or hey love, you want to go for a drink, or do you want to have, will you give me my number, or can I have your number? 99, maybe even more, will say no.
Yeah.
One might.
Yeah.
And some men, unfortunately, play the game where they play the numbers game, which unfortunately is, I think, a ridiculous way to treat other people, especially women.
So like, guys, you know it's literally this Sunday.
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock.
Chinatown. We're on the internet. You can find us Facebook, Stiff Upper Lip Society. No
Follow
tracks
us.
on the tube.
Is there anything you want to promote, Ivan? Anything outside of Stiff Upper?
Ivan's Cakes.
Guys.
And I don't charge for my cakes, just charge for cost of materials. So yeah, if you need a cake, get in touch. I'm not a business. If I like your idea for a design, so don't come to me with boring old
Victoria sponge. We don't want to see it.
White cakes with, you know, this guy. Go and challenge me. Give me a good fun idea, and you'll get
him to get
beautiful fun cake.
What was it against? Was it cellophane?
Edible. Yeah, but you see, I wouldn't do that. Because I'd like to, the other people ask, someone go, oh, I saw you did this cake, I really liked it, can you do it again? No. I'm not joking. I turned down a commission recently from a company I've worked with before and I really like, and they really wanted this one specific cake.
Yeah.
And I went, I've got a much better idea for a cake. Much better, and it will look so much cooler. And they said, no, they want this one. And I went, but it's, you know, I can do a better cake. No, they want this one. I went, and it wasn't like an individual for their birthday. If you imagine an individual for their birthday, might be very specific. It was a company. It was a hospital. And I went,
oh guys, come on.
And I just went, you're going to turn down one of my cakes, and this is probably $1.50 cake.
Yeah.
You're going to get for £100, 120, 130 pounds. Why would you turn?
Yeah.
Yeah, I stuck, and I'm glad I stuck by it. I didn't want to do it again because it's a lot of work, because I don't get paid.
Exactly.
It's a lot of work and a lot of stress oftentimes.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So yeah.
Well guys, this has been the gift of the gab. I hope you liked this episode. If you're interested in coming on the show, no weird jobs are, nothing's weird, okay? Like if you have a weird job or a weird hobby, then please email down below. It will be in the link in the description. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and I've had a lovely time with Ivan.
Lovely to meet you, precious.